WWE is making a mistake by having Roman Reigns, Cody Rhodes, and Seth Rollins wrestle in a match the night before WrestleMania. And I know there's going to be many people out there who say that this is the match that they've been building towards. This is a great match, and people are going to tune in, and it's going to make night 2 of WrestleMania even bigger because you're going to have all those eyeballs on night 1 also tuning in to see how the hell this story is going to continue into night 2. And I understand that, and from my business perspective, I totally get it. This is going to draw more eyeballs, more interest, more clicks to WrestleMania than anything else you could have done by virtue of The Rock's involvement in it. And that is all fine and good, but you're doing it at the risk of your main events for night 2. Because remember, you have Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns, the World Heavyweight Champion and the Undisputed Universal Heavyweight Champion, respectively, in this match, along with Cody Rhodes, who is the winner of the Royal Rumble and someone that fans have been waiting to see have that moment, have that shining winning moment, finishing his story and reigning supreme at WrestleMania as the undisputed WWE Champion. There's a lot riding on night 2 of WrestleMania. To have your big stars also wrestling on night 1 is a gamble. And while it's not something we haven't seen in professional wrestling, like we just saw it with MJF and Adam Cole wrestling the first match on the card at All In and then the final match on the card at All In, it's still something that is dangerous for you to do because you're one injury away from ruining the entire night the next night. And I'm talking mostly about Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns. However, even Seth Rollins, someone who is coming off of an injury, someone who has put that championship belt, that World Heavyweight Championship belt on his shoulder, worn it proudly, been the most loyal WWE guy there is, and having banger match after banger match after banger match on every show that he's involved in. Him getting injured would do irreparable harm not only to night 2 of WrestleMania, but also the World Heavyweight Championship that he has done his best to try to put into a position of relevancy. Something that is already playing second fiddle to the Universal Championship and something that Roman Reigns has explicitly called out in promos. Like, this title cannot take and cannot risk Seth Rollins being injured and not defending the belt at night 2. It's already in a precarious situation as it is, but a vacation or something along those lines after night 1 of WrestleMania would do even more damage to it. And then you look on the flip side of that, you have Drew McIntyre waiting in the wings, someone who is still waiting for his WrestleMania moment. Because remember, back in 2020 when McIntyre won the Royal Rumble and was gearing up to be the biggest thing in WWE, the pandemic happened. And while he won the WWE Championship at WrestleMania 36, he did it in front of no fans. And his entire title reign, his entire run with the belt, his entire top guy run was without fans. And he has yet to have that big moment, that crowning moment in front of the masses. And for him and the Drew McIntyre character, Rollins being injured would do even more harm to him. So there's just a lot of risk involved going into it. It's probably not the most responsible thing for WWE to do. And I say this while also knowing that I think WWE is going to do everything in their power to make sure that that night 1 main event, that tag team match, is the most spectacle to have ever spectacled. Like, I think there are going to be so many rest spots, so many easy spots. There's not going to be a lot of bumping in that match at all because, number 1, you don't want any of the 3 men who are wrestling the next night to get hurt. And number 2, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson is in that match, and we're not sure where his body is physically. Because remember back at WrestleMania when he faced John Cena the last time and defended that WWE Championship, he tore his abdomen to the bone a few minutes into that match. So we're not sure where The Rock is as far as his training and his in-ring readiness. So expect the match to be, a bit of a schmoz. Expect there to be very little bumping, a lot of brawling, and if anything, maybe one big spot where someone takes a massive bump. But even that, I think, is giving it a little too much. But again, it's wrestling. I'm sure that WWE and the competitors involved are going to do everything in their power to make sure that they are as safe as humanly possible and to preserve the night 2 main events. That doesn't mean it's not a gamble, though. That doesn't mean there's no risk involved, and that doesn't mean that this isn't a mistake for WWE to do. You could very well have an elongated segment like this instead of a match and have it have a similar effect. But that's not what they're doing. That's not the road they've chosen to go down. They've chosen to do this tag team match. And while we will all be tuning in, a lot of us are also going to be gritting our teeth and hoping and praying nothing bad happens.